Josh Hammer shouted out there on Twitter. All right. I have been extremely reluctant to post screenshots from a murdered friend. It feels icky. I don't like it. Ooh. Oh my gosh. This is just going, hey, if you're a Candy, by the way, make room in the best live chat. Let's get the Candies up here in the front of the church. Y'all come on up here to the front. This is going to probably hurt. So let's go ahead and get you close so you can feel comforted. This is going to probably hurt. But while I was offline this week for a holiday, somebody said that yesterday that it was grimy that she was calling out Josh Hammer while he was on holiday. And man, who was it? Somebody said that last night. A high-profile, deeply unwell lunatic used screenshots of an intimate group chat I was in with Charlie Kirk and some others to impugn my character in the worst way and allege I somehow had foreknowledge or worse of my own friend's horrific assassination. Okay, look, y'all say what you want to say. Josh is a writer. Shout out to Josh. Josh is not playing games with this writing. I'm here for it all. Now, that's the longest sentence in the history of sentences, though. But great day, man. It's like some Puritan writing over here. My gosh. But I love it nonetheless. Let's keep going. In those screenshots from about 3:30 to 4 p.m. EDT, the day before he was killed, Charlie was blowing off steam in a private group chat setting. Donors have every right to withhold donations, and organization CEO chairman have every right to then be upset when donors withhold those donations. I don't understand. We were talking about this last night. Like, how do you feel like, why are you acting like a donor doesn't have the right to make decisions, how they're going to change that just doesn't make sense. And then how are you treating it like, well, if I lose a donor, that I can't be upset about that, for whether it be a black donor, a Jewish donor, a big donor, a small donor. Like, why can't I be like, you know what, man, I hate that I lost that donor, man. You can't do that. I told y'all, man, Candace reads into everything. That is just the nature of donors and donees on the not-for-profit space. As I've previously explained in Newsweek, the donation that Charlie Kirk was turning on his career-long friendships with the Jewish people and the Jewish state of Israel, as opposed to sarcastically blowing off steam in a private group chat setting, is an egregious lie and is belied by the facts. And in a moment, he's about to drop some hammers. Josh Hammer, he brought a whole bag of hammers, and he's going to drop a whole bunch of them on one Candace Farmer. Let's keep it going. 2 hours after Charlie blew off steam in that chat, I joined a Zoom call with him and a few others. The New York Post covered this Zoom call shortly after Charlie's death. In short, Charlie sought out, and he's got the links in here, and I put the link to this tweet in the description to this video. So you're welcome to follow along or click on these links, because I'm not going to click on all of those, okay? In short, Charlie sought out our advice on how to better communicate the Israel issues on campus so as to be most effective with the younger Gen Z audience. I want to stop right there. I had the wonderful opportunity just about an hour and a half ago to speak to the leader, the president of Blexit, which is the Black organization encouraging Democrats to leave from the Democrat Party, who goes to college campuses. And it is and we had a great conversation. And if you want to, we're going to consider having him come on the show to talk about it. But anyway, just to be able to communicate with this generation, it doesn't matter how astute you are in understanding your topic. It doesn't matter how fine-tuned you are as a debater. You do need to be able to, if you're not familiar with this area of dealing with Gen Zs on a particular topic, you would be a fool to not tap somebody who's better dialed in. That's just it. So you could be the Charlie Kirk of your society, but when you say, hey, I'm going to be going to a place that I'm not familiar with, or I'm not the strongest in, or I could use what's new things going on, even to be able to communicate with them and have somebody in access that, that goes to the school, that's involved in the school, a professor, an administrator, that would make sense. And if you have access to somebody who lives in Israel, who can say, this is what's happening on 123 Israel Street. This is what's happening in the Jerusalem Square. This is what's happening at the local bakery, whatever, that can give you like a more inside, more robust understanding. Why would you not? Should have been the question that somebody asked Candace. Why would you not do it? Why would you go in there like, oh, I know everything? No, you don't. Charlie was passionate about fighting the mind virus of conspiratorial Jew hatred throughout, or rather something he made clear over and over and over again. The final ever message Charlie sent in this WhatsApp chat, which were delivered hours after the deeply out of context screenshots that the aforementioned lunatic Y'all, Josh Hammer is not playing games. Josh Hammer said, I might not say your name, but I'm going to insult you in 4K. Shout out to Josh Hammer. And others have been discussing this week, make clear that Charlie was deeply grateful for our help. After our call, he felt more confident and reassured that he could make the case for the Jewish people and for Israel on college campuses. Uh-oh. I need to add that dun 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 sound effect, because I can already see where this is going. I can already see where this is going. Hold on one second. This is what Josh Hammer is saying.
Got him. We got him.
These are literally Charlie's last messages in that WhatsApp chat. Emotions can run high at times, but Charlie Kirk remained a true friend of the Jewish people and the Jewish state to the very end. All right. So there's a Zoom link. It was sent at 6 p.m. ET. Charlie Kirk, thank you for the help today, guys. So this is at 7:50 p.m. And we can see this on WhatsApp. It's very good and clear. That's what my WhatsApp looks like. Okay. I can dig it. Thank you for your help today, guys. Good luck as the campus visits start. Don't hesitate to let me know, or any of us know, how we can help. What's your first stop tomorrow, by the way? And this person's name is blacked out. Honored to be an assistance. Charlie, Utah Valley U. Thumbs up. Say hi to your Antifa friends. Name scratched out. Prayer. Those are not prayer hands. It's supposed to be like a high five, but they've kind of morphed into prayer hands. So prayer hands. Okay. And this was on Wednesday the 10th. And this last message from Charlie Kirk was at 11:41 p.m. Y'all, if you're Candy, you got to start asking Candace these questions, y'all. You're going to have to start asking these questions. I mean, what do you do? I'm going to read some of these comments. Somebody told me I need to read the comments as well. I hate that you had to post this. Some people are ghouls. Bandage heart emoji. New York Times Post article. So let me get this straight. Charlie spent an hour that night before the UVU debate talking to a rabbi from Israel about how to defend Israel from the leftist lies. And the next day, Israel deletes Charlie. Charlie? Yeah, okay, sure. People who believe that are blank. Son of Liberty 357. Bridget, this made me cry to see, because I still can't believe he's gone. And it's a tragedy that in the aftermath of his death, it's been overshadowed by certain podcasters' grotesque hijacking of his assassination for fame, power, and money instead of his legacy. These people are not playing games with Candace's feelings. I know why Candace is going to take off 10 days, because they hurting her feelings, man. This is getting down to the soul. You'd be stoked to have a fraction of the integrity and credibility that Candace has. Uh-oh, spoiler alert, you don't. It's going to be fun to see whatever justice God will dish out on you. All right, Paul says, look, he ain't feeling Josh Hammer. Paul wants the hammer dropped on him, I guess, because it looked like Josh got a whole bag of them. Let's keep it going. Okay. This evil of the world must be defeated. I saw your evolution from a quiet behind-the-scenes op-ed writer to an outspoken, forward-facing figure. Now you have anonymous accounts accusing you of deleting with no basis. Stay strong. Sadly, all their toxicity is going to get worse. All right. So shout out to Josh Hammer, man. Josh Hammer said, look, I'm about to bring that. So real quick, I do kind of want to see this one. Let's click on this real quick and see what it said. All right. So this is the grifters desecrating Charlie Kirk's memory could implode MAGA opinion. And this was written by whom? Oh, it was written by Josh. Ha ha ha. It looks like a long one. I am not going to read all this whole thing. Let me just get a feel for it real quick. It is really too much. Is it really too much to ask that a murdered young man be given the dignity of a proper burial before bad faith opportunists attempt to posthumously rewrite his legacy to better serve their own nefarious ends? Good gracious, man. Is it really too much to ask that a murdered young man's family and friends, to say nothing of the countless individuals whose lives this young man touched and inspired, be allowed to mourn in peace without having to fend off charlatans seeking to hijack his memory to advance their pet crusades? Apparently the answer is yes. Yes, it is. Wow. All right. Shout out to Josh. I like that opening, man. I see you, Josh Hammer. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. Like, look, literally, Candace has a, what newspaper is this? This is the New York Times. Newsweek. There actually is a Candace Owens tab at the top. Here, let me just look real quick. Candace Owens, the late on writer and political commentator, Candace Owens, she previously served as communication director for the conservative group Turning Point. When was it? 7 minutes ago. Okay. Man, that's how you know you've hijacked the narrative, when you are becoming that entrenched in it. Real quick, this is also a New York Post right here. This is about the Zoom call, the infamous Zoom call. Charlie Kirk and a Rabbi Pal. Oh, come on. Hold on. I got the ad blocker is blocking, and they don't want me to block those ads. They're impeding on my vision over here. Shout out to everybody who just jumped into the most electrifying live chat on the planet. Thank you so much. What do we have here? Charlie Kirk and a Rabbi Pal. Wow, man, get out of the way. Talked hours before his death. He was in a combative mood. All right, and that's from the September 13th. So that's 3 days after he passed. Okay, real quick, I'm just gonna read a little bit of it and then get the feel for it and see what y'all are saying. So that looks good. It looks good. Might be too big. Charlie Kirk was in high spirits, in a combative mood, just before kicking off his American comeback tour at Utah Valley University, said a rabbi friend who spoke to him for an hour that night before his death. Rabbi Peshet Walicki, 55, an American-born cleric who lives in Israel, met with Kirk on a Zoom on Tuesday night. He was excited to get back out onto the campus tour, said Walicki, who said he often spoke to Kirk before public appearances to advise him on how to defend Israel effectively. All right, so this is him right here. I hate these ads. My goodness. We became good friends, Walicki, the post calling 31-year-old activist, unbelievably courageous in the face of many Gen Z conservatives who are turning on Israel. That worried the heck out of him. said the rabbi. And that's kind of consistent with what we read from the letter to Bibi Netanyahu. So I don't see this as being disingenuous. He held fast, and it wasn't easy. Often people who challenged Kurt at events bombarded him with questions about Israel, according to Walt Wiki. Man, I am often people to Walt Wiki. Charlie was always seeking true information, said the rabbi of his evangelical Christian friend. Hours before the firebrand was assassinated in Utah, the two met online to prepare for the smears against Israel he would inevitably face during his tour of college campuses. He was working out talking points, playing the role of the devil's advocate, pushing us on these issues, trying to sharpen his iron, said Walt Wiki, who specializes in Jewish Christian relationships. He was in a combative mood, recalled the rabbi, which is good. He was preparing for debates and attacks. Okay. All right. So these articles, of course, are going to be down in the description. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the JWhit Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment, because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.